Okay, what are we making tonight, Mr. Snook?
Tonight, Jamaican Dream.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, this is an original creation.
You invented a cocktail.
Yes, me and a couple of friends of mine, Martian and Dan. Shout out to you guys. Basically, the story is we're doing a team building event at work at a trendy cocktail bar in San Francisco.
Of course.
It was a cocktail course, teach you some of the basic principles. And then at the end of the night, they had a competition, split us all into groups, gave us this kind of limited set of ingredients and said, invent a cocktail. And this is what Dan, Martian and I came up with. And so I'm going to make a few. First time on the internet, exclusive.
Wonderful.
So, it's a bit more complicated than some of the ones I've made before here. We're basically trying to show off some of the techniques that they taught us on the night. First one, which is muddling. Muddling is when you get herbs or fruit or something like that and mix it up with sugar or alcohol to release the essential oils. So I've got mint here. Normally I'd go with like 8 or 10 leaves, but these are huge, so I'm going to go 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 leaves is going to be plenty. Just tear them up into the jigger. And then some rum. Now we called it Jamaican Dream because we were using Jamaican rum when we invented this. I've got Cuban rum today. It's fine. Dark rum. This is a 4-year. It's not too dark, but I think it'll work just fine here. And I've got 2 ounces of that. So there's kind of a formula to making these things. This one's a sour cocktail, which is like, it's always a spirit, a citrus, and a sweet. This one is a little bit kind of, tweaked, I guess. But basically, the sort of basics is it's like a margarita. 3 parts tequila, 2 parts sweet, which is triple sec in that case, and 1 part sour, which would be lime juice. Something close to that. Anyway, we just kind of mash up the mint with the rum.
What are you mashing it with?
I've got a bar spoon here, which has a kind of thing on the end. You could also use, a muddling stick or a rolling pin, something like that. If you're using with sugar, I find that the wooden one works a bit better, but here with the spirits, this metal one, it doesn't soak up any of the juice. Okay, that's really well bruised to get all the minty flavor out. Then we add the rest of the ingredients and the ice. Let's start with the ice so it doesn't splash too much. Ice. More.
It's a lot of ice.
Oh yeah, there's a few ingredients. That's good. Save the rest for the glass. Now, what are we gonna have? We're gonna have some sugar syrup, simple syrup. Half an ounce of that. That's about all I have left. And half an ounce of Contro. We split this when we went through a few iterations of this recipe, and we found that using all Contro here made it a little too boozy, but all sugar syrup left it a little bit, lacking in flavor.
And what flavor is Cointreau?
It's a citrus flavor, orange and other things. Secret recipe, the usual. Half an ounce each of that, and then this is the little twist: some bitters. So we had woodland bitters, which is one that's made with like oak leaves and other things like that. But it's more of an earthy than spicy, I guess. The one I've got here is from Tambourine Mountain Distillery up in Queensland. Picked that up a little while back. And it's just a little bit more earthy than like Angostura, so I'm going to use that. About 8 to 10 drops. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is good. All right. And citrus. So I've got lemon juice here. You could do it with sour mix as well, like lemon and lime mixed together, but I think lemon juice is nice. And 3/4 ounce of that. All right. And I think we're good to shake. Once it's too cold to hold on to, then you're good. Okay, now we need a glass. go into this big old-fashioned glass. Now, I got reprimanded by the teacher when I made this for not putting enough ice in the glass. You really want to fill up your glasses with ice so that it makes the drink look nice and fresh.
You're not doing the big ice ball this time.
No, no big ice for this one. This is more of a sort of, not quite tiki style, but I like the big ice for kind of spirituous cocktails like your Negronis or old fashions. This one is a bit more party, so lots of small ice. And put the whole lot of that in there.
That's a straining device on top?
That is a straining device. Alright. And then we want to top this off with what we had at the time was a cherry ginger beer, which was made locally, artisanal, San Francisco, whatever. This is my SodaStream ginger beer, and I've put a little dash of the liquid out of my maraschino cherry jar in there to make cherry ginger beer. And just a little bit of that floated on top, which gives the whole thing a bit of a zing and lift when you dive in. Alright, let's just top off with that. Garnish with a nice sprig of mint out of our bunch. And there we have the Jamaican Dream.
And how'd you do in the contest?
Well, we won.
Congratulations.
Thank you.